Hello, minions. It is I, Ace-Eric, and it is time. The newest Reviewcap following those intrepid and plucky underdogs from the Assassin's Guild in the mega campaign, Night Below. But before we begin, an important announcement from the Disclaimer Imp.
Merlinster Gantledor is a poohead.
Good. As is the style, I shall be recounting the events using the Order of the Stick cutout minis. I must reiterate that this is not a sponsorship. They are simply convenient and at hand. Today's players: Rick as Nomgare, 4th level Human Cleric of Mask, Neutral Evil. Shannon as Elwinda, Level 3/3 Elven Fighter Magic User, Chaotic Neutral. Continuing to guest in are Matt as Kurg, 1st level Half-Orc Assassin, Lawful Evil. And newcomer Sean as Hagen, a Level 4 Elven Magic User, True Neutral. Not to be confused with Sean, who plays Bob, who is unable to attend this game. The group has spent the day in Thermaster, getting the lay of the land and observing the vermin, the locals. They realize the place is far less desirable a location than Milbourne. Bedbug and flea bites have made the stay at the inn rather uncomfortable, and Nom wisely encourages his fellows to eat their rations rather than the local food. Bob goes off to scout and spy, but will meet up with the rest of the group when he has collected information. The team has been joined by Hagen, an elf and mage who is affiliated with the Assassin's Guild, and has been awaiting their arrival in Thermaster. The group first goes to meet the local mage Tauster, whom they believe can help them with information about the ring and possibly other symbols they have uncovered. Tauster at first is recalcitrant, but upon learning they are seeking information to help solve the new mire, he lets them in. Kurg, Kurt, and Lomar wait outside. The old mage is somewhat short with them, but warms to the charming elves as they converse. Tauster doesn't seem to recognize the symbol of mask, or doesn't let on that he knows or cares. But after learning that Hagen and Elwinda are arcane students, he suddenly becomes suspicious. Tauster asks if the guildmaster sent them. When they respond in the affirmative, he gets scared and prepares to defend himself. He calms upon learning that they weren't in fact sent by the guildmaster of his former wizard's guild, but another organization which they wisely do not disclose. Tauster doesn't press it. Nom changes the subject by asking if he's able to identify the ring. Tauster indicates that he'll need a day with it to research, but can try. The fee is waived, as they are trying to solve the mire, something Tauster wishes to see accomplished. While in Thermaster, the group decides to meet Squire Marlin, the local magistrate. The elves provoke hostility after constantly trying to wring more money for a task he wishes completed. Pro tip, children. Don't try to connive money from a cheapskate. Squire Marlin wants him to scout the Howler's Moor in the northeast to discover the fate of some pilgrims of Ilmater that Lord Palfrey has hosted on his lands. The elves return to the group with this information, and Nom uses his trained hawk to fly over the moors, giving specific instructions via Speak with Animals spell. I marvel at this youngster using such an effective tactic with his magic. Most clerics just seem to load up on healing spells and forego utility, but Nom usually prepares a range. This, combined with his self-serving bent, makes me believe there is indeed hope for this generation. When the hawk returns, the bird informs him that packs of wild dogs roam the moors, but did not see anything else of note. The hawk does indicate that the dogs were strange, but the limitations of the animal's mind and the spell's ability to translate prevent further clarification. Nom tries to claim the reward for the task, but Squire Marlin simply composes a writ to take to Lord Palfrey to claim any payment. Nom views this as fortunate, however, as he was hoping to seek audience with Palfrey anyway. The group had a previous encounter with Ranchifus's brother before arriving in Heronshire, and he had directed them to consult with the Lord. The next day, the group visits Tauster for information on the ring. He says that it's a ring of elemental command, crafted by a water sect of elementalists. The symbol also has a shape that indicates it's from a sect of elementalists from the Underdark. Very obscure, and he was very lucky to have the information in his books, but there it is. Somehow it must have made its way up to the surface. Further, he believes the ring is broken and leaking matter from the elemental plane of water, which is what likely caused the new mire. Nom inquires whether the ring can be used to reverse the mire, but Tauster says it cannot. However, with the influence of the ring removed, the mire should disappear on its own within a matter of weeks. Tauster provides a letter to Lord Carmen affirming this information and gives his seal. Hagen and Elwinda ask if they might learn from Tauster, and a neutral reaction roll leads him to offer the possibility in the future, before kicking them all out so he can be alone. The group plans to head back to Milbourne and inform Carmen, but decide first to visit Lord Palfrey. The trip up is uneventful. The Palfrey estate is a walled fortification well away from the cesspool that is Thermaster, well tended and protected. Nom presents the writ from the squire. Then he and the elves opt to enter, while Kurg and the henchmen remain outside. Poor reactions put Palfrey off the elves, and he dismisses them while he and Nom confer. They discuss the missing pilgrims, and despite what the squire promised, Palfrey won't pay for a simple flyby of a bird. If they wish the fee, then they need to go into Howler's Moor and find the missing people. Payment for the attempt, extra for finding them. Nom mentions their search for Ranchifus and that Carson, Ranchifus's brother, said to talk to Palfrey, suggesting he had a friendship with the Lord. Palfrey dismisses this as typical of the lower classes who wish to be close to the nobility. A pain I know all too well. Sycophants have their uses, but they are annoyingly clingy. Palfrey suggests that, while it's possible they have crossed paths, he knows not of either men. However, when Nom suggests that there are bandits in the keep in the Thornwood, Palfrey becomes interested. He offers a sum of 5,000 golden lions to clear the keep of the bandits and report back. Further, word of trolls in the Schreichenmeier has him concerned. If Nom's interested, he will offer a sum of 1,000 lions for each troll skull they bring back. Meanwhile, outside, a young foppish lord, flanked by 4 burly guards, attempts to make the acquaintance of Kurg, who, realizing he has no desire to speak with any nobles, silently points to Lomar and retreats and bows his head. The young man, Lintern, is Palfrey's son and wishes to join the team as he's eager to prove himself. Lomar suggests asking Nom. When the business inside is complete and the team back together, Nom is most eager to bring the young lord along, but the others quite vehemently refuse. Elwinda going so far as to suggest that if he comes, she leaves. Nom protests that they can use him to their advantage, but Elwinda and Hagen suggest that it's not worth it. If anything happens to the boy, it'll sour the relationship with Palfrey. Nom is ultimately forced to accede to the rest of the group, but they suggest to the boy that if he has his father's permission, then he may join, fully believing that such permission will not be forthcoming. It is proven true when Lord Palfrey emerges and adamantly refuses it. Well played, children. Very well played. A contract is formed between the Lord and the team, and they travel back to Thermaster. The next day they ride on a barge upriver to Milbourne. The barge master arms Kurt and Lomar with long spears in case they are attacked by Old Bitey, the giant freshwater eel. However, no encounters makes for an easy trip. Carmen is overjoyed to learn that the new mire has been solved. He had taken the liberty of arranging 6,000 golden lions to be ready, 600 pounds of gold coins stored in multiple chests. The group, not having the capacity to carry it around, asks if he'll hold it until they're ready to collect, which he agrees to. They buy up all the oil they can from the provisioner in Milbourne, and then plan to head to the Schreichenmeier to hunt trolls. Kurg also acquires 2 bear traps. Kurt and Lomar warn of other dangers in the Schreichenmeier, as Lord Carmen's predecessor was Lord Schreichen, and was Carmen's opposite in many ways. When attempting to introduce a ritual of prima nocta upon a young bride, the woman fled into the mire with the lord in hot pursuit, determined to claim his prize. What he didn't know was that a group of enraged farmers and locals were after him. They caught up with him in the mire and dispatched him horribly. Since then, a darkness has hung over the area, and those who live in Heronshire are convinced that the evil spirit from the murdered Lord Schreichen is casting a pall over the land. More and more strange creatures, supernatural and otherwise, are becoming quite frequent. The group heeds this, and agrees to stay near the edges and not delve too deep into the mire if they don't need to in order to claim the troll bounty. Hiring the skiff, the group plans to leave Milbourne the following morning. The next day, the otherwise hot and clear summer weather has turned to mist. The group boards the skiff and moves downriver. Visibility is limited. At a point in the Trinette, a narrow has been blocked up with fallen trees and logs. The group suspects an ambush, but the skiff master suggests it's probably just a logjam, as the foresters use this narrow to push lumber from the thornwood on the south side to the north side. Still, it's a problem, so the skiff pulls up to the north side of the river. Nom uses the ring to create a whirlpool, hoping to dislodge the logjam. Clever idea. The wolf and bear, who have been traveling by land, catch up while the group waits for the logjam to shift. Nom's whirlpool seems to be working, but while they are focused on that, the wolf and bear react to danger. The group prepares as there is something in the fog, but no one can see more than 30 feet. Suddenly everyone feels strange. A mystical effect blankets the area, creating a slight lethargy, a lack of clarity. Figures appear in the mist, and a voice booms out to take out the animals. Archers appear, but the group is not caught off guard, so battle is joined. Elwinda casts sleep, taking out 2 archers. The wolf and bear charge in and maul one as it hits the ground. Nom backs out onto the water where he feels he'll be safe, using the ring to walk on the water. The DM secretly rolls a d6 to see if he attracts Old Bitey on a 1 or 2, but luckily for Nom, a 5 is rolled. Hagen throws 2 daggers, but misses his mark due to the fog. You might say, he missed. What? The doddering old wizard is the only one allowed to tell jokes? Pfeh. Anyway, the archers shoot at the animals, the wolf taking a hit. A tall, broad man strides forward, fully armored and wearing an eye patch. Could this be Ranchifus? A new round is declared. Elwinda preps her ray of enfeeblement on the new enemy. Nom declares that he's using the ring to sink underwater and stay within a pocket of air. The others prepare to shoot back. The team loses initiative, and the eye-patched man begins casting a spell. The massive difference in initiative meaning his 5-segment Hold Person spell will still beat Elwinda's 2-segment Ray of Enfeeblement. Hold Person against Kurg, Elwinda, and Kurt succeeds, as each one fails to save in turn. Hagen backs into the mist, using the obscurement and his natural elven stealth to make his way around to another point on the battlefield. He does briefly consider fleeing the encounter, but decides to stick it out as he believes he has the advantage. Nom, realizing he can do nothing underwater, rises back up to command his animals to attack. Ranchifus throws a warhammer at the group and calls out a holy word, turning the weapon into pure energy. Lomar takes shots from a nearby attacker, knocking him to 0 hit points exactly. This dungeon master treats 0 hit points exactly as a knockout hit, rather than a bleed-out critical condition. The skiff master's morale breaks, and he flees back down the river with the skiff. Another check to see if Old Bitey shows proves once again fortunate for the unsuspecting Nom, who avoids being, for lack of a better term, nommed. The cleric, realizing that his team has been taken out, debates using the ring to escape, but ultimately decides that this is his chance to take out Ranchifus, so he moves forward, bearing his holy symbol and ready to confront the apostate. The two stare each other down, classic showdown. Ranchifus's archer readies a shot. Hagen, from his new position, casts sleep into an area hoping to get a few more minions. He gets 3. But the magic also knocks out Nom's wolf. Nom casts command as his birds attack Ranchifus, going for his one good eye. The hawk has a by-the-book 25% chance of pecking out an eye. Alas, it is not meant to be, but the animals, including the bear who has now turned his sights on the cleric, keep him busy while Nom casts a command spell, telling Ranchifus to flee. Ranchifus fails a saving throw and flees combat, prompting several attacks from the animals, but low rolls allow the villain to escape. Hagen, who had declared missile fire with his daggers again, is able to clip the fleeing cleric as he goes, however. Nom kicks himself for commanding Ranchifus to flee when he could have attempted to force sleep upon him, but resolves not to make that mistake again. The final archer against the group retreats into the mist. The hold spell wears off of the 3 paralyzed party members, and Nom uses healing magic on both the wolf and Lomar, rolling a 7 and 8, restoring both to full health. The team kills all but one of Ranchifus's men, and takes the last one prisoner. Nom uses his ability to walk on water to chase down the skiff master, ordering him to return to the task for which he was hired. The skiffmaster refuses, offering to refund their money. Nom brains the man with his mace, as one does when customer service is lacking, and takes the skiff, returning to the group. They use the wolf to track Ranchifus, some blood on the trail making it easier. But the trail leads to a point where he just seems to vanish, leaving them cold. Kurg suggests that the attack was too perfect. They were staggered out, minimizing the effects of sleep spells, and knew who to hit. He suggests that they are all still alive by luck more than anything else. He posits that Ranchifus has agents observing their actions and knows their abilities. None of the others pay attention to the junior member of the team, but Kirk resolves to keep this in mind going forward. Nom suggests they find Quipper and see if he can track further. They also search the area in case Ranchifus had escaped into a secret underground cave or tunnel system, though an hour of searching yields nothing. They take their ill-gotten skiff, dump the skiffmaster's body into the river, lamenting the poor man killed by these evil bandits, then continue to Thermaster, where the session concludes. And so, the Night Below campaign continues. The group has now made contact with Tauster, and narrowly avoiding a disastrous social encounter, were able to smooth things over and keep him as an ally, so far. Smart. He may be a goody-good, but he's still a wizard, and of great use to them if they continue to tread lightly. Lord Palfrey and Squire Marlin also made their appearances, key players in the politics of Heronshire. Nom is using his head in attempting to maintain good relations, but you know he'll cast them off once they're of no use, as one should. The bugbear for me here is the prepackaged Ranchifus ambush. This wasn't a random event, rather a plotted encounter presented by the module. I like the idea that Ranchifus attacks a group that is getting closer and closer to him, but the module once again makes the encounter toothless if played by the book. It is suggested that the scenario should not succeed, that if the group fails to beat Ranchifus, the DM should rescue them. My criticism is very much the same as the wizard had about the ambush that opens the module back in Session 1. Ugh. I can't believe I'm agreeing with him. Regardless, playing it for keeps really does enhance the stakes, creating tension at the table. The players here thought they might be done for. 2 players almost abandoned the rest of their group to their fates. They were feeling the pinch, especially after Ranchifus's hold spell took effect. But the tide turned, and they drove Ranchifus away, without the DM needing to intervene, which made the encounter all that much more sweet. It does, however, show the players that Ranchifus is a tough opponent and that defeating him, while possible, will not be a cakewalk. The glaringly big oversight on the designer's part here is that Ranchifus can be beaten by a simple first-level cleric spell. The command spell in both Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 1st edition as well as 2nd edition, for which this module is designed, offers no saving throw except to creatures with an intellect of 13, or hit dice equaling 6 or more. The Dungeon Master here gave Ranchifus a save, but that was a mistake made in the moment, as looking at Ranchifus's stats in the book shows that he has neither qualifier. Regardless of this, the module continues to impress overall. The setting, the mystery, the overall development going on behind the scenes does lend itself to some interesting gaming. So the scenario continues to get a good review. And that is all for now, my minions. Begone, but stay close. The next session is not far off. They are yet another step closer to their ultimate confrontation with Ranchifus, and I, for one, am eager to see how it plays out. Ta-ta for now.